Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is the Sentinel, watching over geekdom. Yes, I have changed my channel name. The reason for this, real quick, I'm just thinking long run. If my channel ever gets to the point where I could realistically open up a Patreon, the Jedi was going to be a problem because Star Wars is owned by Disney, and one thing I've learned about copyright law that everyone should learn if you learn nothing else about copyright law: do not mess with the mouse. Anyway, welcome back to Sentinel Reviews. My little hiatus is over, and so we are once again looking at the Fourth Doctor Adventures, Series 8, starting with Time's Assassin, by Guy Adams, directed by Nicholas Briggs, released in February 2019. This story is also a sequel to, or not a sequel, this story is the second part to The False Guardian, which I already reviewed, and you can find either in an annotation above, or if I don't figure out how annotations work, you will see it in the description box below. Anyway, Time's Assassin stars Tom Baker as the Doctor, Jane Slavin as Ann Kelso, and John Leeson as K9. Also featured in the cast are John Colshaw, John Shrapnel, Blake Ritson, Anna Acton, and Tracy Wiles. As always, I will be talking spoilers, so proceed at your own risk. And real quick with this story, because this is the second part of a two-part story, I will be reviewing this story individually because I already reviewed The False Guardian, but at the end, when I give my rating will be for both The False Guardian and Time's Assassin as one complete story. All that out of the way, here we go. So, I'm honestly not quite sure what to make of Time's Assassin. I don't think I liked it. I might have, but I know I didn't hate it. I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I will say it is weaker than The False Guardian, and when this set came out, I'm glad I listened to The False Guardian again to have the full story. The problem is that there are developments throughout The False Guardian that come out of nowhere. For example, the chief medical officer, Dr. Elmore. The False Guardian set him up to be this slimy, sort of underhanded, twisted character, and now he's just crazy. No rhyme or reason to it. It's just, and that is a lot of my issue with a lot of this story. Compared with The False Guardian, a lot of developments seem to come out of left field. One of them I don't have an issue with, though, and even though I said I'm talking spoilers, this one of these out of left field twists concerns Anne, the Fourth Doctor's companion. And even though I said I'd be talking spoilers, I'm not going to talk about that one, because that is one that will, obviously, play into the rest of the series. So, I want to see where this arc goes, because obviously it's going to go on towards the rest of the series. But it does sort of completely change her character. This story... How do I want to put this? The False Guardian and Time's Assassin are a lot like Kill Bill 1 and 2. They tell one story, but they are completely different in terms of tone and... well, not genre, but yeah. Like, The False Guardian was much more comedic, and this one is much more... I don't want to say serious, but it's much more action-packed. There is still a funny moment here or there. Like, my favorite is, at the end of The False Guardian, Anne infiltrated Dr. Elmore's lab. And when Dr. Elmore figured it out, he locked Anne in and sicked his experiments on her. And when this story picks up with Anne, K9 comes to rescue her, and this was one of my favorite moments in this story, by the way. K9's trying to hack the door open, and Anne is obviously panicking. It's like, come on, hurry up. And K9's basically, I'm trying. This is a very stupid door. And yeah, that got a laugh out of me. There's a lot of little moments like that. the Doctor was put on the back burner for this one, for a lot of it, and it just... I'm not sure how I felt about it, honestly. I want to say it didn't work, but I don't think it goes quite that far. But yeah, I just didn't like it. It kind of reminded me of a Dr. Light episode, which generally I'm not a fan of. It's called Doctor Who, so yeah. I don't have to talk too much about the characters because there are no new characters really introduced because of all the characters we met in the last episode, The False Guardian. I will talk a little bit about Zephon. As I said, Zephon was a tertiary antagonist in the Daleks' master plan, and when the Doctor learned there was something going on Kemble, which is where this story is set, the Doctor and his friends incapacitated Zephon and infiltrated that meeting, disguised as him. And Zephon died in the Daleks' master plan, and this is his son. And I just hate this type of character, the really petulant, childish villain. It's a character type that doesn't work for me. John Colshaw does a good job of it, but yeah, in the making of, he compared Zephon to Kylo Ren, and it's just... Yeah, I didn't like him in The Force Awakens. Just the petulant childishness does not work for me. I find it annoying. We also get more of the groundwork to Series 8's series-long arc, the Syndicate Master Plan. More than halfway through Series 8. I slightly miffed at that, because you promised us a series-long arc, and only on the 5th story do we start getting more of it. I also think this story was fairly padded. Like, The False Guardian reintroduced us to the Varga plants, Dalek creations that were these plants that had infectious thorns, and if you got pricked by one, you mutated and turned into a Varga plant. And this story kept cutting back to some of the people infected by Varga plants as they turned into Varga plants, and you know, it felt like padding. Where do I want to go from there? Okay, in The False Guardian as well, what really caught the Doctor and Anne discovered this place by accident. Where this retreat where they are, because they were trying to outrun a Chronon wavefront. That was introduced in episode 1 of The False Guardian. It doesn't really play into this story again until episode 2 of... totally blanking. Of Time's Assassin. So it's like... So when it does play in... So when we do start getting the Chronon wave again, there's this massive disconnect between it and the rest of the story going on. And this Chronon wave is what the Doctor spends most of his time on, which again led to the Doctor sort of not really participating so much in the events going on. And again, and that's where I had an issue, because with the 4th Doctor being such a non-presence in this one. And trying to figure out what else I want to say. And I'm trying to find positives, because like I said, it's not, even though I've been focusing on the negatives, it's not bad, it's not good, it's just middling, and I'm trying to find those positives to talk about. We find out what the retreat is, because in The False Guardian, this place was set up to be a super exclusive retreat for very famous, very influential people. And then Time's Assassin says, that's not true. This is a place where we look after the people everyone wants to get rid of. Like, the assistant director talks to Zephon, who is the director of this facility, and says, oh, by the way, this person we're looking after, the government gave us a bonus for not letting him come back. I so badly want to talk about the Anne thing, but like I said, I'm saving that for the end of the series, for later in the series, when we see where this arc goes. There is a good scene with... oh, excuse me. There is a good scene with Zephon, though. Basically, he gets infuriated at the Doctor. I did like the scenes with the Doctor egging him on, by the way. Him and Elmore. Forgot the character's name for a second. And Zephon is trying to relax, and then a drone comes up and says the assistant director needs him. And Zephon rips this drone apart. It was a really tense, really good scene. But overall, on the whole, this story really brings down the whole two-parter. Because like I said, there are plot developments that feel like they come out of nowhere. And even then, oh, how do I want to say this? Yeah, like I said, they're just... The False Guardian was a strong start, but Time's Assassin really lets this story down with plot developments that seemingly feel like they're brought out of nowhere. A Doctor who is off doing his own thing for most of the story. And yeah, it's drastic shifts in the personality of characters that were established already. I'm going to give The False Guardian and Time's Assassin a 6 out of 10. So that's it for this story. Join me next time when K9 will begin to malfunction and ask about dreams. A mysterious mist causes weird hallucinations. And the Doctor and Anne well, I bungled that up. Join me next week when K9 malfunctions and begins to experience dreams. A mysterious mist causes bizarre hallucinations, and the Doctor and Anne cross paths with a secret agent on Fever Island. So, what did you think? Start a conversation in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Click the little bell next to subscribe to get notifications when I upload. And in the description box below, you will find the link to my Twitter where you can follow me and get updates on the channel. This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and I'll see you guys next time. No, I am not anymore. I am the Sentinel, watching over geekdom, and I'll see you guys next time.